Apple Inc., the iconic phone maker, is silently working on an ambitious artificial intelligence endeavor that could challenge industry giants like OpenAI and Google.
Since OpenAI introduced ChatGPT, artificial intelligence, and in particular generative artificial intelligence, has taken the world by storm. After the alliance between Microsoft and OpenAI, Google soon announced that they would be coming out with their own generative AI, Bard AI. And Meta also soon followed suit. Now the latest to jump into the bandwagon is Apple, which is looking to adopt its Ajax framework as soon as it can. It might have taken a while, but the tech giant Apple has finally forayed into the field of generative AI. And as always, whenever Apple enters an industry, it competes directly with the industry leader. Reports from Bloomberg reveal that Apple has been silently sitting in the background, developing its own generative AI tool, known as Apple GPT, obviously drawing inspiration from OpenAI's ChatGPT, which has gained worldwide fame as the premier AI chatbot, and is one of the fastest-growing apps in the present time. But the journey for Apple may not be as simple as it may seem. The tech giant does face multiple challenges and obstacles while foraying into the generative AI industry. But at the same time, it would be bringing groundbreaking changes in the industry as well. But before we delve into Apple GPT, it's first important to know a bit about the predecessor, or what could be considered as the parent framework of the Apple GPT. Yeah, we're talking about the Ajax framework. Apple's Ajax framework would serve as a foundation for the Apple GPT, as it has done multiple times before. Ajax has, over time, served as the foundation for most of Apple's generative AI tools, with its advancements already being used in Apple's AI bot like Siri and other services. It is with this very foundation that Apple is most likely to proceed in the case of the Apple GPT as well. In fact, Ajax can be seen as the first step of Apple's journey towards the creation of Apple GPT. It works as a proprietary foundation model that leverages Google's cloud's infrastructure. It was also built using Google's Ajax, the tech giant's machine learning framework. This could probably be the reason for the name Ajax as well. The journey by the tech giant started soon after ChatGPT gained global attention and popularity, which also prompted other giants like Microsoft and Google to launch their own generative AI. Ajax served as a bedrock for the creation of Apple GPT, which is already accessible to a handful of employees for internal use. But just as the case was with ChatGPT, Apple GPT would face multiple roadblocks on the way as well, before it can finally be open for the public use. The primary for these concerns would be the respect to security. Even now, as the tool is accessible to some employees for internal use, it still requires special approval for access. What do the employees use it for currently? Well, the chatbot currently assists the employees in tasks such as prototyping future features, summarizing text, and answering questions based on the data that it has been trained with. While this is the case, it's necessary to mention that the chatbot has not been trained with an extensive data source, or at least it's not the likely situation prior to it being released for commercial use. This goes on to show how serious Apple is in approaching the project, and is taking every step cautiously to ensure that not even a tiny sensitive information is compromised, and whatever output is generated is not misused to develop customers' bound features. Then again, the question remains, why has Apple been so silent if they are developing their own generative AI tool? Wouldn't it make more sense to let the news out to the public and start creating hype around the product? Well, this is mainly due to the security concerns that surround the invention. This does not mean that the product has received less attention from the company. In fact, it has been the center of focus for Apple over the last few months. Nevertheless, the company chooses to remain quiet about the progress with respect to Apple GPT. During the last Worldwide Developers Conference, artificial intelligence remained a topic that received very little attention, which is honestly quite surprising. But it was at this forum that the Apple CEO Tim Cook admitted to being a user of ChatGPT and expressed his desire in creating a generative AI himself. He stated that his major fears lie with the technology's security concerns and said that the immediate needs would be to solve the existing issue before it is out to the public for widespread use. Now, it's also critical to think about another major factor. Every single tech giant is jumping into the artificial intelligence industry due to the hype surrounding it at present. But what does it particularly mean for Apple? Why is it necessary for Apple to have its own generative AI tool? The thing is, AI is already an integral part of Apple software across a wide range of devices. Apple has its own virtual assistant, Siri, which has seen multiple upgrades since the invention of Ajax framework. Siri has seen improvements like the ability to incorporate machine learning, as well as possess the increased capability to understand and process natural language. Adding to this, Apple is known for its loyal customer base, so the creation of brand-specific AI is most likely to enhance the user's experience of the current user base, while simultaneously trying to rope in future potential customers. Because Apple has such a large user base and so much brand loyalty, the addition of an AI chatbot to its ecosystem might provide a more streamlined and tailored experience for its customers. The chatbot could grasp customer preferences, provide faster service, and make product recommendations that were relevant by exploiting the capabilities of AI, said the CEO of Tech Ahead. Now, in spite of being a pioneer in these incredible achievements, and to some extent innovating and launching them well before their time, Apple has seen some unique challenges pop up when it comes to generative artificial intelligence. This means that the company has to be extremely cautious and devise a comprehensive technological and marketing strategy before launching Apple GPT, which is set to be the first ever Apple AI chatbot for commercial use. But when the company does release it for global use, the impact that it would have on the tech world is innumerable. As one of the leading companies with enormous influence on a global scale, Apple's entry into the generative AI industry is sure to push innovation and build a healthy competition among the other AI developers. The potential application and uses of Apple GPT would be quite difficult to measure at present, but needless to say, the uses can be endless, ranging from enhancing user experience to streamlining internal processes. At present, it's stated that the Apple GPT is very similar to Google's Bard, OpenAI ChatGPT, and Bing AI by Microsoft, and does not feature any new additional features that would set it apart from the other generative AI tools that are currently available. But the major focus of the team is on bringing the X factor, or something that would set Apple GPT apart from others in the market. And it is precisely for this reason that the developers of Apple's own generative AI have been focusing on addressing the privacy and security concerns, and advancing the AI security for any and everyone utilizing the AI model. With major companies like Apple entering the space, higher competition means more companies striving for higher standards, which is what consumers want and deserve, said Mark McNaspy, the CEO of Ivy.ai, a chatbot platform provided in an email to Yahoo's LifeWire. McNaspy also stated that it is companies with a large customer base like Apple that have the power to put the security concerns related to AI at ease, especially when they roll out the features of Apple GPT to commercial users and not just employees. The internal-facing adoption supports the slow and smooth is fast methodology, and will, in turn, build market confidence in any generative AI platform Apple may choose to roll out to the general public in the future, he added in the mail to LifeWire. While Apple may have a large customer base that is loyal to the brand, it's highly critical to keep in mind that the competition within the market. Generative AI has been a field that has been making the news almost on a daily basis since the end of last year. With tech giants like Microsoft, Google, Meta, and even Amazon's web services already making their products available for public use, Apple cannot afford to delay their product release for very long, or they risk losing even a portion of their dedicated customer base. This does not mean that they should compromise on the importance of security. Rather, it means that they should prioritize putting the multimodal model out in order to get the general public's viewpoint and then make further changes accordingly. But what Apple chooses to do is something we have to wait and watch. And one thing is for sure, when Apple GPT is open for the public use, it is sure to send waves across the globe. That's it for today. Let us know in the comments about your thoughts. See ya.